Hey everyone, glad you've chosen to join us today. Well, it's a snowy Christmas Eve where we are, and I hope that you're finding where you are safe and warm. I was thinking about Christmas Eve, and I wanted to share a few thoughts with you regarding this time of the year and how we celebrate and what the Bible says. And it was very interesting as I started to study this, and I just want to take a few minutes here and share these thoughts with you. I was thinking about planning the Christmas Eve service, and we sing Silent Night every year, and I thought, wow, Silent Night, we've sung that forever. And I started to research some of the history behind Silent Night, and I realized that it was written back in 1818. Silent Night has a story, and the story is this. There was a Catholic priest, Father Maurer, and he decided that he wanted to do a service at his parish, and he realized that the organ was broken, and he didn't know what to do, and he was searching and searching, and he found that he had written a poem a couple years earlier and decided that he would give that to his organist, Franz Gruber. Franz Gruber decided that he would take those words and set them actually to guitar instead of organ, which I found very interesting. So the rendition of Silent Night that we have was originally for guitar, and they needed something for their parish Christmas Eve service, and so that's one of the reasons why we have Silent Night. It's been sung many, many times over the years in many, many different countries, and it's an interesting song. And as I was reading through it, I thought, wow, Silent Night, Holy Night. And the thought came to me, was it really a silent night? Or was it? Like, I just wondered what was going on back then. So I started to do some research about that, and I thought, well, man, what was going on with Mary and Joseph and the birth of baby Jesus during that time? Well, we know that Mary and Joseph had to go to Bethlehem to pay their taxes, and I thought, wow, a woman is great with child, and she has to take a road trip, and they have to go pay taxes nonetheless. I'm sure they didn't have a whole lot of money, but they went to Bethlehem to pay their taxes, and I thought, but why Bethlehem? Why did they have to travel? And in Luke chapter 2 it says this, "And all went to be taxed, every one into his own city, and Joseph went up from Galilee to be taxed. And he went out of Nazareth into Judea, into the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was from the house and lineage of David." And as I read that and I started searching more, I thought, well, why did he have to go there? My search led me to something that was told in the Old Testament, and it's in Micah chapter 5, verse 2. And it says this, "But as for you, Bethlehem Ephratah, too little to be among the clans of Judah, from you one will go forth for me to be the ruler in Israel. His going forth are from long, long ago." That person that is mentioned in Micah that's going to lead Israel is Jesus. And I thought, wait, this makes sense now. Because in the Old Testament it said that Jesus had to be born in Bethlehem and the ruler of Israel would be born in Bethlehem. So Mary and Joseph actually had to go to Bethlehem so this prophecy would be fulfilled. Interesting how God orchestrates circumstances to fulfill his promises that he made to us. And I thought, that is so cool, because many times we don't think of it until after we know it. And when we find out, it's like, wow, that really fits together, because Jesus was born in Bethlehem. Micah said that he was going to be born in Bethlehem. And then we understand, oh, this was Jesus fulfilling the promise that he made so many, many years ago. And I found that very interesting. No circumstance can stop Jesus and God the Father from moving forward with what he wanted to do for the world through his son, Jesus. But the reality is, I thought, okay, he's in Bethlehem, but what else is going on? And I thought, well, right about that time, it was the wise men who ended up talking to the king at the time, Caesar Augustus. And Caesar Augustus found out that they were searching for a boy, a baby boy. This boy named Jesus. This made Augustus very, very upset and mad, and so he decided that, okay, I'm going to find that boy and I'm going to kill him. Wow, that's pretty big. I mean, not only did Jesus arrive in Bethlehem and was born in Bethlehem, but now he has a king who wants to kill him because he's afraid that this king will take his authority away. Very interesting again, isn't it? How many times we think, wow, it was such a quiet, silent night. Maybe it was, but Jesus was under threat of death right after he was born. I find that very interesting, and I thought, man, God fulfilled his promise. Jesus was born in Bethlehem. Now we have a king who wants to kill him because he's upset that Jesus might take his throne. Let me read this to you. After the wise men were gone, and the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, he said, "Get up and go to Egypt with the child and his mother." And the angel said to Joseph, "Stay there until I tell you to return, because King Herod is going to search for him and kill him." Wow, pretty interesting. I went back to my thoughts of, was it a silent night? It might have been silent, but it wasn't necessarily peaceful, was it? Under threat of being killed? As I thought, I got a little more into it. I thought, well, I wonder what the weather was like. Like, goodness gracious, like, okay, they just traveled, they got to Bethlehem, Mary had Jesus, the shepherds came, the wise men were looking for him. We have a king that wants to kill Jesus now. And I thought, well, how about the weather? Like, was it cold? Was it warm? I mean, we celebrate Christmas on December 25th. Normally, if you're anywhere in the upper northeast or northwest, or you're going to get snow, and it's really cold. Where we are right now, I'm looking outside, and it's like sub-zero temperatures, and snow is blowing, 40-mile-an-hour winds, and I thought, did the shepherds really watch their flocks by night in the field while it was snowing? Of course, I started doing some reading again, and I thought, wow, this would be really interesting to figure out. As I did some research on shepherds in that part of the country where Jesus was born, in Bethlehem, it was customary that shepherds actually only took their sheep to the fields during summer and late fall. So it was probably warm. The nights may have been cold, but I thought to myself, why do we celebrate it on the 25th of December when it's cold, when the Bible kind of indicates that maybe it was at a different time? No one really knows the day or time, really, and I'm not opposed to celebrating Christmas in December, snow and lights and trees, and that's all fun. But what was really going on? And we know, because, you know, the Bible says this, and there were shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night. And I thought to myself, there is no way that they were watching the sheep at sub-zero temperatures. And so, come to realize that maybe it was at a different time of year. I also thought to myself, okay, how about this manger thing, and he was born in a stable? Like, what does that mean? And it was kind of bugging me, because I'm like, did they have hotels and inns there? And was there barns? Come to find out again, back then what would happen is, it says there was no room in the inn. The word inn actually means upper room, similar to the upper room where Jesus had his Last Supper. The idea was that there were homes, and these homes had rooms that people could stay in. But below the homes, we found that that's where they kept the cattle and the sheep and all the livestock. And so, as they arrived at Bethlehem and they were looking for a place to for Mary to have Jesus, they found no place in a home to live, so they had to live on the ground floor, and they went in to where they called the stable. That's where all the cows and the pigs and the sheep and all those things stayed while they were in the area of the people's homes. And I thought to myself, going back to my last question, wow, hold on a second. If it really wasn't cold and it was kind of warm, and then Jesus was born in a stable, and Mary and Joseph, everybody knows what barnyards smell like when it's warm. And I thought, man, the song Silent Night makes it sound so pleasant, but was it really? Was it really a silent night? It might have been quiet, the stars may have been out, there was great things happening, but the reality was there was life. And Mary and Joseph were no different, nor was Jesus, as he took on the form of a human. He was born just like any other baby would be born. It says here, she brought forth her firstborn, wrapped him in swaddling clothes, laid him in a manger, where they put hay, because there was no room for them in the inn. Something to consider. Was it really what we see on a Christmas card? Was it really that clean? Was it really that pleasant? I'm not sure it was, to be honest. And even through all those things, what we see is that God still fulfilled his promise and gave us Jesus this time of the year. This whole story is actually quite amazing to me, and how we celebrate Christmas. I don't think we should change what we do, but I thought these ideas really give us perspective on what was really going on with Jesus in this time of the year. God even decided that he wanted to announce, and really, the birth of Jesus is about God and his glory, and how he performed something that nobody else could do. During this time of the year, we should definitely be reminded that Jesus was sent to this earth through a normal couple, Mary and Joseph, to redeem mankind. Again, we have all these things that we do, and it's fun, the Christmas tree, the lights, and the festivities, and meeting with family and enjoying ourselves. And we're just glad that we get to be able to do that this time of the year. I'm so thankful that you stopped by to just listen for a few minutes, and I hope that you and yours will have a wonderful Christmas time together. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Hey everybody, we want to take a minute to thank you for being a part of what we're doing at Rives, and we're excited about what God's going to do for this next year. We want to thank our partners at Rives for supporting the ministry and really helping us achieve the vision that God has before us. We hope that as you celebrate this year, that you enjoy your time together with your family and friends.
We hope all our family and friends at Rives have a very Merry Christmas.
Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next week. Hey everybody, JP and Sue here. We just want to take a few minutes to thank you for
Come on, let's do it again. Retake. Take 3. Come on. Can you stop it? Can we restart it in the middle?
Yeah.